What is up, you guys? It is Raven here, and I am here. Joining me is Lily, Mika, and Ray. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
I'm dead inside.
Now, a big topic for some people is the different versions of English. Now, in this call, we have one person who has lived in Britain their entire life, one person who has spent a lot of time in Northern Ireland, which is me, a Canadian, and a Spanish American who
I'm
is
a Mexican, excuse you.
who is not allowed to speak any Spanish during this thing, and if he does, he will be muted. This is America.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien.
You're cruising. You're cruising on a thin thread here, and it will snap. So slang. Food has a lot of different names. So if you go into just like the basic ones that everybody knows, like for Brits and maybe Canadians, don't quote me on this. Chips in America are crisps.
Yeah, no, it's chips up here as well.
It is chips up
Yeah,
here.
Get a bag of
for us, chips are what you guys call steak fries. It's the thick cut fries. Yeah, we call those
No, they're
chips.
just called French fries.
Oh god,
No,
yeah.
Wait,
French
whoa.
fries. French fries are thin.
No, they're all just called French fries up here.
You see, you go into the thin ones in
Welcome to the
America.
Wild West.
Thin ones in America are called shoestring fries.
Man,
True,
what the
but
fuck
they're
are
all
you guys?
just, everyone just calls them all French
My keys.
fries, and you ask to get the thin ones or the big ones, and that's like, that's it.
That's what she said.
Hey, have you? I can't remember the name of the bread I always eat. We make this giant bread and we stuff a key inside of it, and it's a tradition. You pull it out. You gotta cook the dinner for the rest of the day.
What?
What's the one with the
Bread.
baby?
Oh, I know what you're talking
What?
about. It's something they do in the French Quarter. Yeah, you put they do it with like a baby Jesus. They put it in this cake-like substance, and if you get the baby, you're
Yeah,
like,
So people are cooking baby Jesus.
oh, no, we did this in my French class.
It's called a mazeda.
No, what?
Excuse me, what?
It was.
It's a special bread that's sweet.
Yeah, it's good. Actually, that's like a cultural thing. I will say this real quick. We did this in my French class when I was in school, and my teacher cut the baby Jesus in half.
Damn.
What I've done with those is they sometimes hand those out, the ones that they bake into cakes, into at like abortion rallies, and I've had some before, and it's really funny to just hock them at a wall because they're like those like gummy, well, jelly sort of aliens, and they will just like stick to the wall. And if you do that with like what is basically a fetus Jesus, it just sticks to the wall. It's horrific, but it's great. So it's just I got handed one and I threw it at a window. and I just looked at the person dead in the eye and went, "Yeetus that fetus," and walked away.
Okay, so back. So
Back to language.
yeah, what are the food slangs? Let's start with that in Canada, Lily.
What? I don't know.
You don't know.
I think it's just we use a lot of American ones. Like, I don't know. It's fast food. It's not takeout. It's fast food. And like, I don't know, because like I use them all the time, and like, it's just so synonymous with like the way Americans speak. We don't have too much like distinct like slang for food. At
Do you want to know what we call hamburgers here?
Just say it.
Beef burgers. 'Cause that's what they're made out of.
Okay, that makes sense.
We call them beef burgers.
But then you got like bangers and mash, which if you
Bangers
don't,
and mash,
I know
yeah.
what that is.
Which is sausage mash and onion gravy.
I thought it was always just you take a pile of mashed potatoes and you shove 2 sausages in it, drench it in gravy, and it's
Well, there's
delicious.
also toad in the hole. Do you know what toad in the hole is, Lily?
Yes, you take the piece of toast and you cut out the center and you put the egg in the middle and you can.
No, that's
No?
called egg. That's called eggs in a basket or eggs in a nest.
So which one's toad in a hole again?
Toad in a hole is sausages cooked in Yorkshire pudding batter.
Ah, gross.
Excuse me, ma'am. It's
Sorry,
delicious.
I just don't like the Yorkshire puddings. Their texture is really weird to me. I don't thoroughly enjoy them.
Okay.
I mean, you
I've
can
got-
drown
You're
something in
entitled
enough
to your
gravy and
opinion.
it'll
I mean,
taste
it's
Yeah,
good,
wrong, but you're entitled to it.
Oof.
I mean, but when you have to drown them in that much gravy to get them to taste good, they probably weren't good to start
Dude,
with.
cheesy chips and gravy are delicious.
Yes. What annoys
talking
me
about a
is
poutine?
if I want biscuits in the UK, I just go to the biscuit aisle. If I want them in America, what?
It's a cookie.
Why are people asking me about if I want gravy? I want to dip it in tea, not gravy.
Well, they had this whole thing where they dumped a lot of tea in the harbor, so I don't know if they really want you to dunk your biscuits in your tea down there.
Well, no,
Yeah, but
in America, biscuits to us are cookies. So they're
So-
actually showing you where there are actual versions of biscuits are that they put gravy on and put sausage on them or
Yeah.
something.
but the way I see a biscuit in America, the ones that you dip in gravy, that's more like a hard scone or something, not a biscuit.
What are you talking about? Cookie and gravy? I'm so confused.
Well, if I want to dip something in gravy, it's going to be my chicken or my beef or my pork or my sausage or my
French
chips.
fries are, yeah, right? That's fine. But you're talking about like what's kind of like a cookie that they dip in gravy in the US? I've never heard of that.
No. Have
I'm
you
so
have you not heard of
confused.
biscuits and gravy?
No.
It's like a hard dumpling.
Why would you want to eat that?
I don't know. Ask the Americans. But for
I don't
me,
know.
a biscuit is a custard cream or an all butter milk or a nice biscuit. Yes, there's a type of biscuit called a nice biscuit. It's like a
I know.
coconut biscuit coated in sugar.
I love coconut.
Then you've got then you got your bourbons, and your bourbons, they are chocolate biscuits with chocolate cream in the middle.
I'm just gonna stick with like my Fudgios and like the button cookies that are really good.
Fudgios.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's a brand name, and it's like imagine an Oreo, but with like fudge filling.
With fudge in the middle instead.
Yeah, so good. They're so good.
No, I'm sorry, the God tier biscuit is a party ring.
What about
What is that?
Go ahead.
Is that the one
But
where
that-
it's like it's got cream, but then like in the middle of the top part, it's got that little bit of jelly with like sugar dusted on
That is not a party ring. If you're talking about cream with jelly in the middle, that is somewhat like a jammy dodger, but not a jammy dodger,
No,
because a
that's what it's
jammy
called.
dodger just has jam in the middle.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I just call them button cookies because I don't know what the actual name is anymore.
Jammy dodger.
Like
But
the best cookie you can get up here are made. They look like like a maple leaf, and they have like maple fudge in the middle, and they're so good. They're worth
Cool.
the impending
Um,
diabetes.
No, a party ring is a ring biscuit that has icing on it. It's like a glazed biscuit with like bright colors on it. It's delicious and it's God tier.
Well, I'll trust you on that one because I don't think I can get it here.
Do you guys have jelly babies? Like,
Sorry, what?
Jelly
You
babies.
mean like the little candies that come in all the sorts of different flavors, right?
well, I think for you they might be gummy bears.
No, jelly babies are different to gummy bears because jelly babies are coated in powdered sugar.
Yeah, that's true.
What?
Okay,
Like
imagine a
jelly
candy
beans?
that looks like a baby. Eat that.
No, we have like Sour Patch Kids and just like your standard like gummy bears.
We
and
have
whatever.
those too, but jelly babies are. Imagine a gummy bear, make it thicker, coat it in powdered sugar, and make it a baby.
Nope, I've never seen that.
They are delicious.
I had some hope that I could find them here. I guess I'm gonna have to order them.
The
You will have to
closest
order them.
British, like biscuit thing that I've ever actually tried was when I went to Newfoundland and I had Jaffa cakes. That's like
Jaffa cakes are great.
they were so
But-
dry.
Jaffa cakes aren't a biscuit.
Yeah, but it's in like the closest thing. Like
No, they're not a biscuit.
No, this isn't food.
They are not a biscuit.
This isn't
They are not a
food
biscuit.
related.
They are a cake. Biscuits go soft. Cakes go hard. Jaffa cakes go hard. Not only that, it literally says in the name what it is. It is not a biscuit.
So,
okay,
Lily,
but they're dry as fuck.
Lily,
No. No, they're not. They shouldn't be dry.
okay,
Okay, by the time they get on the boat from the UK to Newfoundland, they're dry.
Oh, that's a shame.
so this isn't about food, but Lily, why do you drive on the wrong side of the road?
You motherfuckers drive on the wrong side of the road. Every car manufacturer builds their cars to work in everywhere else in the world except for like a few countries that still drive on the left-hand side. You're the
Yes,
ones who need to change. The rest of the world drives on
Actually,
the
we
right.
have right-hand drive cars
Get it?
and
Yeah, we
drive
do.
on the left,
Right.
and we
So-
have fewer accidents than America.
You also have a speed camera every 12 feet.
Yeah,
That's
To
why we have
prevent
fewer
people from-
accidents.
speeding.
And you also don't
People
have
are
as much
paranoid
landmass
about
or
losing their
nearly as much road.
licenses, hence why there's less accidents.
And there's always so
Hey.
much traffic, you can't go fast enough to get into an accident.
I'm at Walmart now, guys.
We're also in a
got here.
much smaller country, so
No, I'm gonna.
Exactly.
There's
Most
that.
of the UK can fit into just Ontario.
Not all of the traffic is bad in the UK. Depends on where you live. If you live in London, expect to sit there for a while.
Yeah, and then you have to pay congestion fees on top of that. Have fun with that.
We
no,
also
you
pay
don't.
taxes to
That's
the
only in
church.
certain areas. Only in certain areas of London do you have to pay a congestion charge.
Okay, so give us some slang, Lily, or something you don't think we're gonna know what it is.
Well, you people always seem to get a poutine wrong, which is disappointing.
Poutine.
You say it the French way, motherfucker. It's a poutine. It's a French dish. It's said the French way.
Look, it's like
Say it the French.
Americans call it Adidas. It's Adidas.
No, it's Adidas. I say Adidas. What's wrong with
The
that?
people
It's
in Germany.
Adidas.
Yeah, people. If you actually go and translate that from German to English, because it's a German word, it's Adidas.
Okay, fair enough.
It's actually a name. It comes from Adolf and then something. I can't remember what exactly, but it's Adolf something.
Or you got a Capri Sun.
Capri Sun, yeah. I love Capri Sun.
But here in America,
Or
it's
a
Capri
orange drink
Sun.
over here called Sunny D, and it's disgusting.
Soda, OG, purple stuff, Sunny D.
Sunny D is so bad for
If you
you.
want to make me happy on a hot day, give me a Capri Sun, an Oasis, or a Sunny D.
I'll just have an Arizona iced tea. Screw that.
Yeah, we don't get those here.
No, You-
Probably for a good reason.
there is some stuff I would order from America. Like I did order.
You live there now. You don't have to.
I
Order.
do. I do.
Live in
I moved.
Montana.
Shut up. I was born in London. Lived in Plymouth and then lived in Belfast.
I was born in Cheltenham, raised in Cheltenham, live in Cheltenham.
Shut the fuck up.
Wow. Exciting life you lead. Do you
Oh,
ever
we
wanna
should
leave
try,
that
what
one
we should
town,
what we should
or-
really do to just have fun with this topic is give Lily some places in Britain to pronounce.
We've already done this. Not on.
We haven't
but
recorded it though.
No. She'd probably get them right now.
I don't know. Lily, how good's your memory?
Pretty good.
Yes or no, it's not.
God.
Okay, give us some slang. Test our knowledge, Lily.
I don't know. Like,
Because I can handle American and British and Irish. Because there is a few different things over there.
Okay, what
See, I
what
don't
if I
know,
said
because
this?
we, like-
I'm gonna go to Mackey's. Where do you think I'm going?
I don't know. I don't care. You can sit in your weird little country.
I'm
and drink
going
tea on the
to
wrong side of the
Mackey's.
road.
Where am I going?
I don't fucking know.
Just tell her.
McDonald's.
That's called Mickey D's. The
Mackey's.
arches. What's wrong with you?
At least I'm not Australian calling it Macca's.
Fair enough.
That's too close to knockers for my comfort.
Or you can just call it McDicks.
Then you get Australians.
We call it Mackey's.
You get Australians calling flip flops thongs.
Oh yeah, my thongs. I
Oh,
put on
yeah.
my thongs.
And Lily, never go over to the UK and say fanny pack. Don't call it a fanny pack.
Why?
Yeah,
I would
because
never wear a
fanny means-
fanny pack in the first place.
Fanny here means vagina.
So you were packing stuff in your vagina.
Yeah, and just don't ask for a fag over here. You'll get some real bad looks.
Oh, that's one of my favorite foods is faggots.
That's almost a
I-
slang. It's
I-
not a slang,
I
but it's almost a slang.
absolutely, I love faggots. They are delicious.
Let's not go to the
Um,
point of slurs, because
but-
it is a slur.
No. Not when you're talking about food. It isn't. The closest thing I'd say that America has to faggots is maybe meatloaf or
Ugh,
Salisbury steak.
Meatloaf is disgusting.
It is delicious.
Yeah, I'd say Salisbury steak is maybe the closest they've got. But they good old Mr. Brain's faggots in gravy. The Mr. Brain's ones are the best because they come in West Country gravy. And they're traditional, and they are just delicious. They're just a bundle of meat, and yeah, I think they were. I can't remember when they were invented, but they became like a staple of British culture, in a way. But they're good. And then you got. I'm trying to think of other British foods that are like slang.
We were talking about
That
language
Americans would
before.
that if you were to say it in America they'd go spotted dick, which is a type of bread pudding that has raisins in it, which is the spots. I don't know why it's called dick. It doesn't look like dick, but spotted dick.
I forgot about
I think it's
that.
actually in reference to King Richard. I don't know, but dick.
Okay, anyways, most of like the differences here between Canada and the US are like spelling, how we spell color the correct way with a U,
We do
Yeah.
too.
things like that. Like there's not
One of
too much
my
slang.
favorite.
We have a lot of British slang here, and we have a lot of American slang here. So like it's kind of hard to like find something that's kind of unique, and I don't know it off the top of my head. So
One thing that makes I'll try to remember it now. Damn it. Oh, there was a post I saw about like the differences between American spellings, and someone's taken all the U's out of British spellings, and the person goes, "What are you doing?" And then it's one with, "There ain't no U in freedom." To which the British person responds, "There isn't an N, H, or S either."
that's just bad.
It's just mean.
No, it's just a bad joke. Did you hear how flat it landed?
Yeah, but
Don't
it's
be
also
laughed.
mean.
It wasn't even a
It's
snicker. It was just silence.
I'm gonna add crickets in there maybe. Cause sound effects.
But yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to like pick out slang. But if you're on the French side of things,
Let's
at least
hear
when
it.
you're in like northern Ontario, the amount of English words that have found their way into French, it sounds like you're speaking both languages at once. Because you'll just be speaking French, and then you'll suddenly just say the English word and go back to speaking French.
Give
That's
us an
really,
example.
Really funny.
Give us an
I don't
example.
speak French well
Try-
enough to do
Try to give us an example.
On y va, Roy Thompson Hall. It's just like that. It's like you're speaking French and then you say the English thing and then you just go back to French.
Well, if it's in there, and that makes sense. Because it's a name.
Yeah, but it's the only freaking thing I can think of to say, alright? Jeez.
I'm not going to go into French, but... I'm trying to think of things to question it with.
Okay. I do kind of want to do the thing of putting different places in the UK
No.
into chat and see.
No.
No.
The one Americans always seem to get mixed up on is whenever it's a Cestershire. So you got Gloucestershire, you've got Worcestershire,
Cheshire.
Leicestershire. Whenever it's Cester and then shire, they always get it wrong. Worcestershire, Gloucestershire. It's like,
Yeah, well.
Just trying.
wait, that's always one.
We're doing real good today with the silences and like knowing what we're talking about, right?
Yeah,
We're doing real good today.
Lily, do you have Gary's mod?
Oh god.
No.
We're not going into this.
Darn.
No, we're not going into this. We did have a fail. I had a failed recording, and Danny and Mika were talking about Gmod the entire time. And the topic was the supernatural.
Fake stuff that people believe for no reason. Yes, continue.
I'm about ready to hit you over the head.
Go for it.
Come
Combine
here. Must get IP address.
Good luck.
Lily will just let you walk into her home and beat her up. She's into that.
No, no, you're gonna get us demonetized. We're not going that far in. Okay, what about Canadian traditions? Do you have anything? This is
what?
this is right now because Ray has left. It's
You know our country, like, is only like 152 years old, right?
yeah. We're gonna try this. Traditions: Canada versus the UK.
Your country's so old. So many people on it for so long. I don't know of any off the top of my head. I mean, we have a ton of immigrants here, so most of the traditions that have been brought over here, everyone is just cool with. But like, I don't know of any that are like truly Canadian, like Beyond Canada Day, like.
I know, is Canada Day a
really-
Canadian tradition?
I don't know. Celebrates our country and when it became a country and when we politely asked for independence. So
Politely.
this is basically what happened, right?
Canada, we want to be independent. No. Please? No. Pretty please? Fine.
Feels like that, you know?
America just takes it. Canada's like, please help. No, okay.
Idiots.
Give
Well,
us freedom.
that happens in Fallout. America literally annexes Canada because Canada is the closest, is like close to Alaska,
Nah,
but they want to get through freely, so they just annex Canada.
they wouldn't come after us.
I don't know, Trump. He might annex Canada.
What? No, he's too busy focusing on Iran, the pretend stuff they're doing. And no, I don't have Gmod.
Oh gosh. Just to stay away from Gmod. Just no. No more.
You had fun.
Yes, but this is no topic Tuesday.
Yeah, I get topical, mother trucker.
Like topical ointment?
No. My friend's got like this CBD topical ointment, and it's perfectly great. Hey, it's perfectly legal up here. Get with the times. Stuff's so good, by the way.
That's
Like
what
you
she
put
said.
it on some sore muscles, and like the entire area around your muscles and like the nearest 2 feet, just all completely relaxed. So good.
Those sore muscles.
Is it
Just turn to, like,
is it the
noodles.
most like definition of a contact high there fucking is?
Yeah, but it's not the same as like actually smoking something or having like a CBD weed. Like it's very localized,
Just
but
don't
like
don't
in that
huff it.
area, you're very relaxed.
Just don't huff it.
Yeah, please don't.
Oh gosh. Wait. So
We don't recommend squirting CBD
Muscle
ointment
relaxant.
into a bag and huffing it like glue.
No, because it really doesn't smell like much.
so Lily, I'm curious. What drugs are legalized in Canada?
Basically just weed.
Just weed?
And there's been a lot.
I mean,
of,
have you
like,
seen their flag?
Hey, shut up! That's a maple leaf.
I think so. It's time to do some
We're
debauchery.
actually just about to legalize edibles and how the rules around those are going to be done. It should be out next month, I think, is when that happens. Which is good.
And here the UK is like no drugs.
Yeah, but the
Actually,
funny
no,
thing
we've
about the
legalized
way that we're
medicinal
handling legalized
Yeah, I know.
marijuana is that the weed you buy from the government is more expensive than the weed you can get at the corner from the man named Keith.
From the
So
man named
why would you go to the government? And if you buy weed from the government, at the border to the U.S., they have the right to not let you into the U.S. if you use the legal method. of buying weed.
Seriously?
Yeah. The UK also won't let you in either.
We do not condone the use of drugs.
Yeah, but like, it's still the thought of, oh, you bought, something that's legal in your country, and now we're not going to let you in ours.
Unless they're
Even though our
cheapened from a
country
man
is
named Billy.
capable of legalizing it.
Where'd you get Billy from?
I don't know.
Sorry, what did you say?
Billy sounds like the name of some sort of like safe drug dealer. I don't know.
Billy. No.
Billy.
No. The softer the name, the worse they are.
Really? Really?
In my opinion,
Mark sounds like a safe name then.
Like, what would be the worst name
What
for a
would be-
drug dealer to have?
Howard. Reginald.
I would not trust a drug dealer named Howard.
What about a
In my
drug
life.
dealer named George?
No.
Would
I
you
feel
trust?
like the-
Would you trust a drug dealer named Reginald?
No,
Or
'cause what would you
Wilfred.
be trying to smuggle me? Fucking scones? Get out of here.
He wants to smuggle you snuff.
What does he got? Like Yorkshire gold hidden under his jacket? Like,
No, he's got snuff.
I don't-
Oh, you wouldn't know what that is.
Nope.
Oh, snuff. I'm not entirely sure what it is either, but it's like it's a powder. You inhale it like you would cocaine. But I don't know exactly what it is.
It's the off-brand
So-
cocaine. It's just the off-brand. Ray!
Oh, wait.
Ray!
Ray,
He muted himself.
yay.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. I was in the middle of adjusting the volume because that was real loud. It
What
felt like
was
a bag of chips was like opening over my
Sorry.
head.
No, me. My headphones, I forgot they were turned off. And you were Prince.
Okay, they don't know what's going on. What? What's
Woofles.
Hugo? What's Lily?
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about Canada? And if it's the legalization of marijuana, I'm gonna be pissed.
No, it's not actually, because I personally don't smoke weed, mainly because it fucks with my head really, really badly, and I can't do it. So it's not that. I think it's mostly the ideals of our country. Everyone comes to Canada to just be here, and we always have that ideal of we're the friendliest people, we're the nicest. You can always come to us. And we'll
Isn't
take whoever you are. And that's
Isn't the
awesome.
cost of living through the roof?
Hell Well, yes. Please don't talk to me. That it's real bad. But
I mean, those
well.
taxes.
The taxes are not bad. Let me tell you.
Really?
Yeah, I'd rather pay Canadian taxes than German taxes.
Mika.
Yes.
But I mean, I think they're
German
only, like,
taxes. Because
40,
World War One and
30.
World War Two.
I can't remember now. But like, essentially, if you make $1,000, you only lose out on like $100. Like, that's really not that bad.
So a 10% tax.
Maybe it's 150. I can't exactly remember, but you know, it's not bad, and you get most of it back in the end. You know, through like tax returns and things like that. So it's really not bad.
This is why me working as a bartender, at least was, I'm not ready to quit, came in handy because tips, and I make great tips.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you have
Canada,
wonderful assets.
And up here in Canada, your tips are protected by law, which means like managers and stuff can't like come around and like steal them and stuff.
Mika.
I
Mika.
misheard that for a moment and thought that Lily said your tits are protected by law, which means managers can't
they
steal
are
them.
as well, but, like,
Your manager can't steal your tits.
It's called sexual harassment. Well, Jesus Christ. Mika, after what you had just said, I'm about ready to fly back to England and kick your ass.
I'll just hug you and you won't hurt me.
I still might hurt you. I might hurt you.
I mean, you're closer to me. You can just, you know, take your fancy jag and drive up to Canada. It'd be cheaper. Come kick my ass first.
No, because you'll be into it.
So would you.
No.
That was a really bad response. We all know what you're into.
Look, kids, this is for YouTube, not Pornhub.
Hey, you can put it on Pornhub. They're a better platform than YouTube nowadays.
Especially for monetization.
Exactly, right? Everyone gets monetized no matter what.
I don't even
Yes,
think
it may be a spank video on the side, but it gets monetized.
I mean, there's that guy who literally, he's made a career out of just like, here's these like basically nice human interactions
Right.
that aren't sexual at all.
I don't even think
My favorite
podcasts
ones are like
would
you
take
go in the
this.
comments and like people are asking about recipes for like pancakes and waffles and how to make good hamburgers.
Look,
and
with-
stuff.
Post that clarity.
Mika, Lily, with our case, they would be asking us how to cook a mattress.
Now you shut your trap with that shit.
I will come to Canada and kick your ass too.
I'll kick yours.
How tall are you? That's
5'11".
okay. So we're the same height.
Wait, really?
Raven,
Yeah.
you're 5'9".
Okay, then I'll tower over you. I'll put on my 6-inch heels and I look Amazonian when I wear
Raven,
them.
Raven wears
Yeah, I'm
heels as
5'9".
well.
I wear platform boots. I am 5'9", but I wear platforms.
I'm 5'9" as well.
And I also
Look at all
know.
of you short motherfuckers.
I also know how to fight.
How's the weather down there?
I know how to fight. I've trained.
I know. I wouldn't actually fight you.
I would kick your ass.
No, I would just push you in the water. I'm surrounded by like the Georgian Bay.
I
would
can
just
swim.
Push you into the water.
My ex used to live in I don't know if they still live there, but my ex lived in a swamp in Connecticut. So they could push you into the
Cool.
water.
And the
Better
alligators
strap
would
up
have a
and go on that
snack.
date with your cousin then.
Ew.
It's
It's
the swamp.
Connecticut, not.
It's the swamp though.
I don't care. That's Connecticut. That's
Anything
not
goes in the
Alabama.
swamp.
That's Alabama stereotype.
It's Connecticut, not the bayou.
No, Florida can get in on that action too. What are you
Florida
talking about?
can get in on that action with their swamps.
You know, you guys make me sick. That is disgusting. We do not condone incest on this channel either.
Florida is also legal to have sex with a dog because bestiality is legal in Florida for some reason.
Hey, it
Florida's
was for
weird.
a while up here too, actually.
We don't condone that
They
either.
recently changed that.
We do not condone that.
Look, well,
Yeah,
you know, there
obviously
was
not.
someone, I think it was Texas, someone got arrested because he was, like, pimping out his dogs.
What?
Is it really bad? I'm just imagining this dude in that stereotypical like purple pimp hat with a feather walking down the street with a bunch of
No,
dogs.
I'm thinking like a dog with fake eyelashes and like
Oh.
pink lipstick.
Oh no!
But no, he was
like that episode of The Simpsons, like doing makeup testing on dogs, and they got like the lipstick. I think it might be Futurama. I don't know.
I think it's Futurama.
Yeah.
Oh man! Look, now the podcasting sites aren't even gonna take us now.
Well, they can go suck a big one. They can find a gentleman's sausage and sit on it.
Sit on the middle finger and rotate.
It was Futurama.
You looked it up.
I looked it up because I wanted the image that's just perfect. I love it.
I don't want to say this. Just no.
If you ask me, they look like a bunch of hookers.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that episode.
I am just
That's good.
done with you guys. Done.
Hey, don't say that.
Don't fawns me.
You make me cry.
Don't fawns me.
Don't Fonz. She's not fond of it.
Of what?
You literally didn't catch on.
No,
Y-
I'm lost over here.
You know the fawns?
Like the mythical character, the Fonz, like Fonzie.
Fonzie is not a mythical character.
So
Look,
confused.
he said, he made a pun out of that and said she's not very fawns of it.
No. That's a
Mika.
flat joke.
Explain yourself.
Okay. There used to be a show called Happy Days. Happy Days ran for.
I know. I've seen Happy Days.
And that's
No,
where the
I mean explain the pictures of dogs and lipstick I'm being sent.
Oh, that's real simple. It's called you leave your purse open and you walk out of the room and your dog has a panic attack, goes through the purse and eats the lipstick. Real
Oh,
simple.
I just looked up Futurama dog lipstick, and these are two images that also happen to be there. And one of them is terrifying, and the other one's hilarious. You decide which.
I would post those. I would like put them up right now, but I'm afraid to get copyrighted for. Jeez, you guys.
Oh god, this one.
Well, then you should stop inviting us into these and it won't be like this anymore. See? No, please. Stop. It's like a pug with. Oh.
Can someone
Oh
break?
my.
Can someone break Mika's fingers?
Yeah. You
No,
pay
I
for
play
to fly
I
over
play
to
piano.
Wherever the frig they live, I'll break fingers.
Get his IP address. That shall be our next challenge, getting Mika's IP address. Next time on Topic Tuesday, no. I'm not doing that. No. Mika,
Mm-hmm.
stop.
Never.
So, Lily, how's the weather in Canada?
Well, you know that massive heat wave that passed through Europe?
Yes.
Well, it passed through here before that, and it was not fun. It felt like 45 degrees at one point.
She's
literally.
Celsius.
Yeah, Celsius.
Yeah, I can't speak.
Yeah, the correct
Celsius.
measurement for temperature. Yeah, Celsius.
That wasn't made by a drunk mathematician.
Right.
What
What the fuck
Speaking
does
of
82 degrees Fahrenheit mean? What the fuck does that mean?
I know, right? At least Celsius at 100 degrees, that's when water boils. At 0 degrees, that's when water freezes. Then you have Kelvin, where things just get terrifying.
I hate Kelvin. I hated having to do that stuff in chemistry class.
I had to do it in physics.
I hated
I
physics
didn't
class
take
too.
any sciences
Why? Because Canada?
because I didn't want to.
So you're telling us in secondary school you had a choice on that?
Yeah,
Well,
you
yeah,
only ever had to
you-
take like
you had a ch-
one or two science classes that were mandatory, and then after that you could just drop it. And that's what I did. I did cooking classes instead. Much more fun.
I actually chose to do triple science as a GCSE.
I was kind of forced.
Yeah, we had a choice.
I hated school. Oh, speaking of which, Lily, what is the school system in Canada? Because you know, because we can give you a rundown of ours, but let's hear this.
Fucked.
Fucked.
It's fucked.
Do you have what they call elementary school, middle school, and high school, or do you have primary
Yeah.
and
So you can
secondary?
go like through like kindergarten, and then you do primary school, which is like 1 to like 8 maybe, and then you can do high school, which is 9 to 12, right? And that's once you're done that, you have your GED and your diploma and stuff like that, right? Basic education. And everyone has to do it unless you choose to homeschool your child. And
See,
then after that, you then have the option to like apply to colleges and universities here.
See, in the UK, 4 to 11, you're in primary school, which is year 1 to. Well, actually, it goes.
Yeah, I don't know the ages. I just know that it's grade 1, 2, 3, 4,
What's the thing you do before year 1, Raven?
kindergarten.
No, it's called something different.
JK?
I can't remember. It's been too long. I gotta look it up.
Is
Yeah.
it called make sure your child isn't too stupid to get into grade 1 school?
No, you will not be held back a year in the UK. If you're dumb, that's it. You go in the next year.
What?
There are no second chances.
I'm looking it up.
You don't get held back in the UK.
I look at primary schools, and what comes up is primary schools near the United Kingdom, of course.
But yeah, no. Education is important, children. And you should always try to pursue the maximum amount of education you can, but
Alright, so
that doesn't
take
mean
it.
it's fun.
Take it this way. This came up for age 11 to 16. Students will enter secondary school for key
Yeah.
stages 3 and 4 focuses and start to move towards taking.
You got year 7, which is 11 to 12. Year 8, which is 12 to 13. Year 9, which is 13 to 14, and that's you done for that. That's where you have to do everything like mandatory. Then for your GCSEs, also known as Key Stage 4, you have year 10, which is 14 to 15, and year 11, which is 15 to 16. And then you go to college or sixth form.
The only useful skill I gained from school.
Reception! That's what it's called. 4 to 5, you go to reception.
Hot damn. The only useful skill I learned from school was how not to panic during a test. That was basically it.
It's called so you have nursery or preschool 3 to 4, reception or foundation 4 to 5, key stage 1 year 1 and 2, which is 5 to 6, 6 to 7. So year 1 is 5 to 6, year 2 is 6 to 7. Key stage 2, you have year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, and that's what we call junior school, and that's when you're 7 to 11. And then key stage 3, which is year 7, 8, and 9, and then you go to college or sixth form, and blah 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 blah. So
Oh.
sixth form is different to college because sixth form you don't do. So in college you only do one subject, unless you failed maths and English, then you have to do maths and English again. But at sixth form, you're actually in a school building with like all the kids there still, which is annoying. But at sixth form, you've got like you're pretty much it's the same as going to college, but you're doing more than one subject. And I did not do well in sixth form. It drove me insane, and I left and went to go to college and went to college instead.
That sounds
College is
way
better.
too
No,
complicated
because
for its own fucking good.
I got my degree in the UK, mass communications, and I'm going back in the fall to get my masters, and there was so much work, like different things I had to show because I didn't do it in America. It was such a pain in the
because
ass.
you have to prove equivalent education. I think is what it's called up here.
I think so.
Yeah, you have to
Either
prove
way, it
what
was-
you learned is up to the standards of what they would teach in their schools.
Yeah.
I showed them my grades, and they're like, "Well, we won't make you take the test, but we want you to answer a couple questions." It's like, oh god. All right. There was like all kinds of stuff. It was pain in the ass. Because college.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about school. It's great.
Go to school. Do it.
She did the thing, Raven. She did the thing.
I know.
I'm gonna do the music thing, and I'm gonna make lots of money. and
That's
it'll be
not what I'm
fine.
talking. That's not what I'm talking about with the fact that you
What?
did the thing. You said a boot.
What's that about?
You said a boot.
You said a
Don't
boot.
say a boot.
You said
You
a
said a
boot.
boot.
Okay. So I only know one person in my entire life who has that stereotypical Canadian accent. It's my grandfather on my dad's side, who lives all the way up in Cornwall.
What's Cornwall's in England? Don't confuse me like
Cornwall
this.
is in Ontario, just like we have a London, Ontario as well, and a Kingston, Ontario. We're pretty British up here. Your Queen's on the back of all of our coins and money.
Your money also smells like maple syrup, and that pisses me off.
Wait,
No,
say
it doesn't.
maple. I heard nipple syrup. It's like what?
Maple syrup.
That's not what I heard.
Certain notes smell like maple syrup.
I have a question for you, Mika, because now that
Only
I've heard
one
that,
note.
I've heard that
It's
now.
a $100 note, and that's it. And most of them have been rubbed and scratched and sniffed so much they don't smell like anything anymore.
Oh.
Mika, now I've got a question for you because that is what I heard. What does nipple syrup smell like?
I said maple.
I heard nipple.
I don't know, breast milk?
And if you don't know what that smells like, you better describe it.
I'm not. No.
Somehow, I imagine nipple syrup to be between the consistency of like really good maple syrup and molasses. Where it's like, it pours, but it doesn't pour well.
No. I think it would be more like very thin maple syrup. So it's like it pours, but it pours too quickly. So like someone's watered down your maple syrup.
You don't. No, that just means you didn't cook it enough or distill it far enough.
That's just crapping maple syrup.
Yeah, it's just you decided to eat maple syrup at the halfway point. What are you?
I-
A monster.
Right.
Who eats straight up maple syrup?
I do.
My granddad went to a cafe. I think it was at a service station, and they did or it might have been a hotel. I can't remember what he said it was, but they did an American breakfast, which, as some of you may know, is bacon, scrambled eggs, and waffles or pancakes. And he got given this thing
What,
that you would. No. He got given this thing that looked like the kind of thing you'd get maple syrup in. However, Raven, you will know this brand. It was not maple syrup. It was Lyle's syrup.
Oh, is that just like corn syrup?
No, it's what you make a treacle tart with.
Oh, gross.
It is not syrup that you put on pancakes. It is baking syrup.
Oh
Yeah.
my
So like,
It was Lyle's golden syrup.
Ew.
the most stereotypical Canadian thing that I've ever done is gone to a sugar shack where they have popsicles laid out in the snow and they like pour like this kind of thicker maple syrup that's not quite molasses all over the popsicle sticks and let it freeze. And it's delicious.
No, Lily, you said you've eaten straight up maple syrup.
Yeah,
How does diabetes taste?
delicious. And what really pisses me off here in Canada, where we have the best maple syrup production ever, is there are still restaurants who will serve fake maple syrup, like Aunt Jemima and Miss Butterworth's, and I can't fucking stand it.
Lily, I've put it in the chat. That's what he got with his
Oh.
pancakes.
No. No.
It has like the
No.
consistency of honey.
No. No.
Honey
No.
is delicious, by the way. Honey is great.
Yes, honey is awesome.
You put some honey in your tea, your sore throat. Yeah.
Mm.
It's great.
Also, honey is a great antibiotic.
I'm gonna ask this because there's some people that actually don't understand it. Mika, why are we obsessed with tea?
I don't know. It's too instilled in the culture. I don't know why. It tastes good. It's nice. I don't know.
I mean, Lily, do the people of Canada have an addiction to coffee, or is it just maple syrup? Are they drinking straight maple
No,
syrup
it's
for
both,
breakfast?
it's both. We do both, but like this brand right here is the best brand of maple syrup.
And it's a
Comes in a can.
pure maple syrup in a ew.
Straight up pure, like between A and B grade maple syrup, which is the best, by the way. If C is like basically running molasses, and it's disgusting.
See,
A
now
friend of mine once made me the most messed up thing I've ever consumed, and he called it the Irish Canadian coffee. It was coffee with Baileys and maple syrup in it.
Ew. Gross.
ew.
I wanted to hurt him.
I don't
was
like
like, no.
coffee, but ew.
You put whiskey in it, not Baileys, mate. Irish coffee is whiskey, and why have you put maple syrup in this?
Put chocolate, alcohol, or cream.
Oh,
Yeah,
chocolate liqueur.
just don't- Actually,
Make an alcoholic mocha.
chocolate and wine is delicious.
Wait, Lily, how do you pronounce it?
What, liqueur?
No, mocha.
Mocha?
Mm,
Mocha.
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 Mocha. Mocha.
It's not an A vowel though. It's an O. It's mocha, not
Mocha.
ma-ka. The A
Mocha.
vowel.
Mo. Not ma. Mo. Ka.
Grr. Mocha.
Mocha.
Adidas. You guys are stupid sometimes.
Well, if you had actually crushed the Americans in the rebellion, we wouldn't be having this argument now, would we?
Look, we're not doing anything political. What? Mika, why?
Because it's not actually spelled like that. I couldn't.
I
get
know, but
I couldn't get the A for it. One moment.
the accent, I got you.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you a secret?
Is
What?
it about Canada?
I don't care.
You should care. You should care.
Wait. So, what's something besides maple syrup is just like ingrained in Canada?
Actually being polite to people.
That's instilled in like. See, I live in Gloucestershire, and the only thing I can say is that. Well, would you like me to talk with a Gloucestershire accent?
Do it.
Go for it.
Right. Okay. People tell me I sound more Irish when I talk like this, but
You're
it's-
just an Irishman at this point.
no.
No.
West Country is a very similar accent, but it's less sing-song. But
I can't.
in
No, that's not
Gloucestershire,
Irish to me.
no, I'll show you Irish in a moment. Gloucestershire is a place where, for some reason, we apologise for everything. I know it's a British stereotype that people apologise for so
You sound
much.
like Scotty from the new Star Trek movies. That's what it is.
Well, it could be because that Scotty is actually from Gloucester. Like Simon Pegg is from Gloucester.
Yeah, I
I'm from Cheltenham.
I watched him in The Boys, and he has a flawless American accent, and it was really weird.
Yeah.
I couldn't
But,
get over it.
But
He's a British man.
basically, for some reason here we get angry and we do kind of hate our neighbours most of the time, but we are very polite in Gloucestershire for some reason, and I don't know if that's just because we're country.
Like
But-
you go to London and expect to get cussed at. Like,
Yeah. You come to Gloucestershire, you might get cussed at, but not much.
No, you will. It's almost indefinite. Someone will roll down their car window and cuss at you
Mm.
What? Why?
because they're
Britain.
assholes.
That doesn't happen here unless you're
Oh.
like riding a bike in the wrong section, or a taxi driver is very angry at you for whatever.
There
reason.
is, Lily, there is a big difference between Gloucestershire and Scotland. See, Scotland is also a bit higher, but you're a lot harsher on every single letter that you speak. When speaking Scottish, you sound like you hate every fucking word you're saying.
Why do
But
we
then
have a
you go
bloody
to
winker in
Iri-
the chat?
But then you go to Irish, and Irish is a lot more sing-song and happy. You know, but yeah,
It could
but
just be your
Gloucestershire,
shitty mic, but like those all sounded the same to me.
Gloucestershire is kind of in between.
Lily, they sounded similar to you because you aren't used to hearing them.
Probably.
Like, so if you spent a lot of time in Ireland
Also,
or like
you
any one of those
shitty
places,
mic.
yeah.
I'm sorry,
Hey, have
this is a condensing microphone, Lily.
That's what I have too, motherfucker.
So, have you ever had Kinder eggs, anyone?
Ha,
Yes.
they're banned in the U.S.
Not anymore.
You know what?
No, not
Uh,
anymore. There's...
You know what they got rid of
Ah.
them. There was a joke between them about them being in German. The actual name of them are Children's Surprise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's literally Kinder means child.
Yeah,
Yep.
because it's a surprise.
So we're
for a
just
child.
eating kids. That's why they got rid of them in the USA. They're filled with kids.
I was trying
No.
to...
Oh my
oh.
god, but if it's in German and you say Kinder Surprise, it means surprise for the children.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Because that's
The,
how you
the
translate
actual
it from German.
the actual reason why they were banned in the US is somewhat intelligent and also kind of shows the idiocy of America. They were banned because in America you cannot legally sell food that contains inedible objects.
So what the problem with that was they were worried about kids biting into this big ass plastic egg and ingesting
Yeah.
it.
But the thing
But
is,
yeah, we're
if
smarter
you told,
here in
if you
Canada, so
told
we-
your
we got it.
child, hey, don't immediately bite into this, break it first, and then eat the chocolate, you'll find
Just
a,
watch your child give you a big middle finger and just bite right through it as a defiance.
Mom, I broke my tooth.
Now they're too soft to break your teeth on.
Yeah,
Or
they
they are
really
now
are.
anyway.
You'd be surprised.
No,
Nowadays.
they're
They-
really, really.
If you're breaking your teeth on that, it's time to get some replacements here. You need to get some them
Right.
dentures, implants.
Yeah, I'm
If-
sorry.
If you're
You've fed
breaking
them too
your
much
teeth
candy.
after drinking American water, which has fluoride in it, for your teeth, you haven't been drinking your water, son.
Okay, there's two other candies I want to see if you guys know what they are. Have you ever
Okay.
heard of Bubba Lubbas?
No.
What?
What? Can you pronounce that without your
Bubba
mic
Lubba.
cutting out?
Yeah, it's called Bubba Lubba.
What the fuck
Oh,
is
you mean
that?
like the bubble
Literally-
gum? Like Hubba Bubba?
No,
No,
Bubba
it's
Lubba.
literally called Bubba Lubba. Bubba Lubba. It's a chocolate. It's a marshmallow with some strawberry jam on top and chocolate coating around it.
Sounds disgusting.
Sounds like
It's actually
diabetes.
really fucking delicious.
I'm
I
gonna stick
looked
with
up-
my
Diabetes.
coffee crisps and like. Kit
I looked
Kat.
up Bubba Lubba, and
Did you find it?
Urban Dictionary came up, and I'm gonna read this.
Wait, did you find the dictionary version?
Urban Dictionary came up for the first thing. Bubba Lubba. A person who finds it impossible to go a day without sweets or junk food. They are usually of hefty size and can be considered very large or fat at heart. Now,
Wow.
here
Wait, is it just Ray?
here is their example, and it's a guy Tim. Bro, I need to stop and get some Twinkies from the 7-Eleven before heading home. John, No, bro. Damn, you are such a Bubba lover.
That's no.
And there's
Let me find it.
there's
I
a
have
second definition. An expression used after passing gas.
Found it.
What? What?
So, I either spelled that
Here, 1 second.
not really wrong,
I'm.
or Ray is having some problems.
How'd you spell it?
Bubbalubba.
Nope. It's L-U-B-U.
Well, I spelled that really wrong.
You really did. 'Cause actually, you found a definition of my fatness.
I mean, my favorite candy thing is like Cadbury cream eggs.
Ooh,
Oh,
yes.
it's so good. And then like
Well,
Terry's chocolate
what-
oranges.
Oh,
Right, they're just so good. Like they have the right amount of orange to the right amount of chocolate. And
I
it's just so
know.
good.
We're
You
all
get to beat the snot out of them.
Well, they started doing chocolate strawberries. The people who do the chocolate oranges, they did strawberry flavored ones like that.
yeah, but they didn't last for very long.
No.
Here's the picture. I found it.
Guys, click on the
These
link.
are what I'm talking about.
Why
I
would we
don't
click
wanna-
on the link? Is that what I think it is?
Mm.
It's Cards Against Humanity. I told you
No,
no.
we're not playing that.
Yes.
Oh, those things. I fucking hate those things. We do.
Jesus
have those
Christ,
up
that just looks like a downgraded lion's tea cake.
here. Yeah.
Wait, are we
have
gonna
those.
play Cards Against Humanity tonight?
No.
We may if we can get another person.
Yeah, but like
I w-
not on.
Not
call,
really.
'cause that's
N-
just bad.
No, we will record it if we do it.
I would love to play it tonight. I have
Actually,
nothing
no.
to do tonight.
We will stream it if we do it.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Bubba
Yeah,
Lubba,
okay,
so-
right,
so we
just
have
looks like a
those.
downgrade of these.
So we have those as well,
I
but they're
had
made
those.
by a different brand, and they're called what are they called? Ray, you have to know what they're called, right? Like they're by the same people who make pinwheels,
Oh, I know what you're talking about now.
right? What's that company's name? Because they make
Oh.
basically the identical version of that.
Does it happen to be Hostess?
I think it might be Hostess, but I don't think
No,
so.
it's not Hostess. I know what he's talking about, and it's bugging me
He?
because I know what it is.
Excuse me?
Sorry.
She.
God damn it, not again.
She.
I'm gonna really.
Thank you
I'm
for
just digging myself
apologizing
holes
for
there.
it, and it's fine. But just try not to
Okay.
make
Sorry.
Wait, pinwheels? That's a roly poly.
And on.
What?
Oh god. I don't even know if I
Here.
can
I
do
looked up pinwheel candy. It looks like a jam roly poly, but peanut butter.
Wait, I got a
Why?
candy that you guys probably don't know what it is. Do you guys know what Della Rosa is?
Not off by name, but I guarantee you I've seen it.
You know, I'm gonna look
I'll
this
show you a
up
picture.
again, and if Urban Dictionary comes up, I'm gonna be pissed.
No, I'll just post a picture in the chat. I
Right.
got that.
If I show you guys this, what are you gonna call it?
It's marzipan. It's marzipan peanut candy.
No, they're
Ooh.
I think they're just called jelly rolls.
This one. I sent a picture. They're called
Nika,
Della
those
Rosa.
are just jelly rolls over here.
Yeah,
That's a
No,
jam
we
roly poly.
right. That's just peanut butter, right?
It's basically a peanut
Yes,
butter
with something
sandwich.
in the middle.
It's a peanut butter marzipan candy.
Yep.
Not
With a
really a
rose in the
peanut
middle,
butter,
I'm guessing.
Yep. Little rose petals inside.
Tasty, I guess.
So, what about Pockies? Have any of you guys tried
Yes,
Pockies?
those are so good. I love
I
those.
go to Comic Con. What do you think?
Pockies are the best.
My favorite
I've
is
never
had
banana. I like banana
If
pocky.
if you want to try Japanese candy, there's I can send you a link for a box
Oh.
company that's
I
$35.
already know, dude.
They
I
send
already
you-
know.
Okay.
I spend so much money on candy every month. I'm probably gonna go broke one day.
So we found the definition of Bubba Lubba, and he's now in our chat.
Well, thank you.
Sorry, Ray, but candy obsession.
I love candy, and it's not because I'm fat, but it's because I'm fat. I have no shame against my body. I will become what I want to become.
See, I do. I have lost a ton of weight once again, and I feel great.
I lost about 5 pounds.
With him to do that.
And I got a new piercing. I got a new piercing.
Well, the one thing is in life, I don't really
A new
have
what?
nothing.
I got a new
Person.
piercing.
Oh, I thought you
Oh,
said
piercing.
person, and I was like, a new
Yeah.
person.
No. I got it.
But
Like,
yeah,
I lost all the baby weight. I feel great.
the one thing I hate, I don't have no one to care for about my body size, so I can be what I want to be. But I'm really physically active, so I'm not really that big. I'm only weigh 215 pounds after all the chocolate.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'9" or 5'10".
Oh man, I'm fucking taller than everybody. God damn.
Dude, you're the same. You're about the same height as me.
Yeah,
You
my
should-
doctor says I'm overweighted. I said
yeah,
my
you should,
my
you're supposed to
my
weigh less.
weight.
Than that.
I'm supposed to weigh 185 pounds, but you got to keep in mind muscles weigh more. My legs are ripped as shit, but my upper body. Yeah, my upper body's not doing so well. Let's just say that. I don't
Oh,
have
my
much of an
legs
upper
are.
body at all.
So you're rocking some calves, but the upper body's just
I got a little belly gut, but that's not that bad.
belly
I
gut.
got one roll. Drinking beer can give you beer gut.
He's hiding his six pack. It's under a layer with for
It's
A
under
protection.
layer of
protective-
another layer, another layer.
It's under a protective layer of chub.
Ah. And you gotta give some love handles.
Oh god, no. No.
You know what's surprising?
You need
I don't
love
have
handles.
actual love handles.
Fuck love
I don't
handles.
have
hate
love
mine.
handles. I just have a gut.
I mean, I enjoy having the curve, like it suits me, but I've lost quite a bit and I'm happy.
Have you
Like-
ever had Swedish chocolate before? Sorry, go back into the topic again.
I mean,
Oh, I
that's
think
not the
I think
original
we've ended
topic.
the episode now.
Oh no, it's still going. I wanted to see where it was gonna go.
Yeah,
And
there's a lot of candy. Oh, I can't think of the name right now. There's a special candy in Mexico that I order in my little box thing every once in a while. It's a lollipop that has looks like a big old, like a Tootsie Pop, but inside of it, instead of a regular filling, it has a pepper in it. But you don't know what pepper is gonna be. It could be jalapeno, it can be ghost pepper, it can be California Reaper pepper.
So
Or-
either way, because of my allergy, it's gonna kill me. Okay, thanks.
alright, so I think we need to end this here. I don't know even
Society.
what to call this.
I don't know. We went completely
Mishmash.
off topic.
I'm about ready to call the episode Bubba Lubba.
You should. You should go for Bubba Lubba. Because I am the Bubba Lubba monster now.
So this has been Raven, Lily, Mika, and In and Out Ray, aka Bubba Lubba, and
Yeah. or you call me
this
Hall of
has
Fame.
been a topic of I don't know what the heck happened. Have a
Oh,
great
look at that
day.
nice cream filling thing. Yeah, cream filling thing.
Have a great day, you guys. And we don't condone any of the things that were mentioned in this video.
Don't be sticking things in places you don't need to be sticking. 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 Places you don't